excellent. Good scenery, nice people.
Having to drive like fury to catch up. It's being exploited for all it's worth. Second on the Monte in 1952, Sterling Moss chats to Paul Easter, Mike Wood and Tony Ford.
You wish you were still competing, you two? Well, I will be doing next week.
Pride of place outside the Hotel de Paris belongs to the little Giulietta, as the victorious crews get ready to receive the awards they've rallied so hard to win.
The winner is someone who came second overall on our classic marathon, where we went into Morocco in the summer. Bert Dolk and Rob van der Valk in the Little Alfa have won the 10th Monte Carlo.
Oh, they're all in there. Ulf Johansson's Giulietta leads Charlie Binion's Healy 106.
The 2007 CES-sponsored Rally of the Tests started on a brisk November evening from Scarborough, where the cars were flagged away for the Prologue section by the Mayoress, before heading straight onto the first regularity at Oliver's Mount Racing Circuit. Bert Dolk, a regular competitor on the Dutch classic rally scene, was driving the number 1 car, having won the 2006 rally in his Alfa. Peter Rushforth, one of several crews to have competed in all the previous runnings of the rally. Jane and Peter haven't had much luck mechanically during their last few outings, which might explain the slightly nervous look from Kevin Savage, start to head out into the first trial of the event. Another Irish crew are Mickey Gabbett and Michael Jackson, also in an Alfa. And this would complete 2 laps of the circuit, and here comes Bert Dolk to start his second. Best shot of the night of Paul Wignall throwing his Alfa completely sideways. Part of the area where old rides go to retire had been turned into a tricky little test of driver and navigator skill, and some showed less skill than others. Bert Dolk shows us the correct route around the test. But the biggest mistake is a highly unusual one by Frank Fennell and Kevin Savage. They weren't supposed to stop there. Well, it was the biggest mistake until Paul Wignall and Mark Appleton came along. They're leading the rally after the prologue section, but Paul still has to give it that one last push. And of course, we were waiting at the end of the test for them.
What have you been doing?
What have you been up to, Wignall?
Clipped a wall, I'm afraid. Your good lady was in a good position for it, though.
Yes. The wall wasn't, unfortunately.
No.
Still only a few seconds dropped.
That's the case of showing off the cameras then?
You know me. I think that's flat.
Yes, I dare say it is flat. And what about that rare lapse of concentration from Kevin Savage? Mark Hansen consults him after the test, but if I were Mark, I wouldn't bother.
We had a misunderstanding. I thought we were anti-clockwise round the merry-go-round, and it should have been clockwise, so we just wasted a couple of seconds, but never mind.
Raleigh set out across the Pennines on its way to the first real evening test, which included a navigational section around the Warcop military ranges. Well, as long as he doesn't stop quite like Jane Wignall, who, although now 7th overall, might be out of the rally altogether if Peter Banham can't fix her Alfa.
What's the problem with this one?
The back axle's falling off.
Oh, that's not what you want.
Body which way?
It was as though we'd got a puncture or the wheel was going to fall
Right.
off, but I tightened the wheel nuts this morning, so I knew it wasn't that. So I thought that was it. I thought we were out, but Peter seems to think he can fix it.
Peter can fix anything.
Pardon?
Peter can fix anything.
Yes.
It's got 4 wheels on it still, so he can certainly get it going.
Yeah, but I mean, the body was just, the rear body was just doing this all the time.
With only 2 service crews to a rally of over 100 cars, Peter Banham never has a minute to rest, so many competitors end up helping out as well. Kevin Savage proves handy with a wheel gum. The first test of the day took place at Carlisle Airport, and much to our surprise, Jane Wignall turned up on time, and with all her usual flair disguising the fact that only half an hour or so earlier she'd almost been out of the rally. Along with Frank Fennell, who always puts on a show when he sees a camera.
All right.
But how was Jane Wignall feeling?
That was a fairly impressive performance on the last test, considering.
Oh,
Considering you just had your axle stuck back on.
yes, it was a bit unnerving, I must say.
It was all fixed.
Yes, well, Peter will just have to check it at lunchtime.
You have to run here, you do realise that.
I'll do my best.
In this test, one crew member has to stay belted up in the car with their hands on the dashboard, whilst the other has to get out and wait for the marshal's instructions before running back to the car, putting on their seatbelt, and then when the marshal gives word,
Go!
driving off.
How your performance last night?
Well, thanks to my excellent navigator, we managed to get Warcop right, and we cleaned that. We didn't drop any time on it, but it was frantic for half an hour. It was non-stop, very quick. Mark did a terrific job on the tulip, so we made up for an earlier mistake in the day. So we salvaged our first position.
Good.
But whether we remain in first position, we'll have to see.
Yeah, if we can keep the combination of the senses of the navigator and the lunacy of the driver.
It's a good combination.
Good combination. That's the way to do it. Although some couldn't resist a chance to get up a bit of speed. At the next test we find that Kevin Savage has taken over the driving as well as the navigating.
Bit of downhill, he could nearly do it himself.
He did it himself with one hand.
That was really good to watch.
It's a bit showy, if you don't mind me saying. All show, no go. They were looking good on the test, but it was bad news for Mickey Gabbett and Michael Jackson. You say you're having a few problems?
We are. Suspension's nearly collapsed, the front suspension.
You get to the end of the day all right?
I don't think we'll do tonight, but through that forest there we were just going clatter, clatter, clatter the whole time. I don't know what's wrong, we'll find out later.
Paul Wignall himself, on the other hand, was in rather reserved mood for a change. That's 4. And can Frank Fennell improve his 3rd overall? There's 30 seconds between him and second place Philip Armstrong, so it's definitely possible. A slight error from Paul Wignall shouldn't cause him to drop any time, but are the nerves getting the better of the crew? Which leaves Frank Fennell and Kevin Savage to take second. the leaders from all the way back in Scarborough are Paul Wignall and Mark Appleton. Although Paul's a bit eager to get to the finish on the last test, very nearly goes the wrong way. Good job he's got Mark with him, who wastes no time in ringing the final bell. So let's get a final word from Paul. How does it feel to win such a tough event?
David, it's great. I've really wanted to win this rally for a long time. I think it's the best historic rally there is, and to win it is just the highlight of whatever I've done.
And the thing is, you didn't change your driving style, exuberant from start to finish.
I didn't have any option with the people in my class.
How about your navigator on this event?
Well, this was the key, I think. The walk-up ranges were very difficult, and Mark is absolutely superb. He's cool, calm and collected. Never has made a mistake the whole way around the rally.
And how does he keep you under control?
I don't know how he does it. I think I'm so respectful of the job that he does that I think to myself, like, I shouldn't really ruin his performance by me screwing up.
Yeah. He says it was mistake-free.
He's not telling the truth.
Well, it can't be far from it. I mean, you can't have made many mistakes in one in this event.
No, we had one big event, one big mistake, and a few little ones that we recovered from. But yeah, just one big one that we got penalised for. Other than that, yeah, it went okay.
And is it difficult to keep him under control? Because he is an exuberant driver, as we saw when he hit the triangle.
Yeah, I'm just a passenger when it comes to those sorts of things.
Paul's usual navigator is actually clerk of the course, Fred Bent. But they've never had much luck together.
Doesn't know he'd have a job.
Let's have a final word from Fred on the success of the event.
Yeah, I think we had a shorter night sections this year, and so we had a little bit more time in the hotel, which was good. But it's been quite tough, nevertheless. And I think most people will say it's one of the toughest rallies they do, and this year's probably no exception. But, I hope it's been enjoyable. I've enjoyed doing it.
Good. Now, when you set out to do a route like this, are you trying to test the drivers and navigators 50-50 or?
To be honest, the way you organise a route is find hotels to stay in and join up the dots. The bits in between come accidentally.
Oh, here we go.